Mountain Comprehensive Care is looking to hire people that can help address different issues in the community. And results are back from a DNA study on Paintsville Lake's bass population, and experts hope it will lead to a boost in fishing tourism in the region.
Plus, we're going to continue to see things weather-wise stay quiet through tomorrow. The latest on, though, when some showers could return coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Mental health and foster care, just two issues specialists at Mountain Comprehensive Care face each day, and now they are looking for more people ready to deal with them. As WYMT's Chandler Wilcox reports, they're looking to hire people that can help address specific issues.
Mountain Comprehensive Care has numerous fields finding solutions to issues in the region, and they are all coordinating through each case that confronts them.
Yeah, our programs do collaborate with one another and try to meet the needs of the clients, whatever those may be, whether it be a child or all the way up to someone in late adulthood. We try to meet those needs.
By holding a job fair, they grow their force against issues like foster care, where specialists are seeing an average of 20 referrals per day and not enough space or help along with it.
We're running into the issue of having kids not being accepted because there's no more room.
Without homes to stay, some kids are sleeping at social workers' offices. As that increases, more therapists are needed in those places as well as schools.
Everyone that works in the school system to try to help them understand the impact of mental health and how the students' mental health can play a role in their academic success or lack thereof.
By confronting issues in multiple settings, coordinators are working to stabilize the lives of those faced with harm.
Ensuring stability is the best course for the youth. So, so they don't disrupt and then they don't have to move or anything like that.
Especially after lockdowns during the COVID-19 pandemic and the flood, they say ensuring that stability has become even more important. In Hazard, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Mountain Comprehensive Care will also be holding a job fair in Prestonsburg on Thursday and in other eastern Kentucky towns next month.
Clouds continue in the region at this hour along Interstate 64 in Moorhead. The temperature 34 right now, and it is still rather overcast for many of us. You see traffic, Friday night traffic there on the interstate, and we'll keep the Friday night traffic theme going along the Mountain Parkway in Slade there in eastern Powell County. 34 the reading there as well, with plenty of clouds overhead. Most of us are in those middle 30s right now. Few 40s in the south where they've seen a few more peaks of sunshine through the day. Even so, it's still nearly 20 degrees cooler than normal there, and nearly 25 to 30 degrees cooler just about everywhere else. So it has been a bit of a roller coaster ride, and we're kind of coming back into the station with where things should be as we head through the rest of this weekend. Clouds in place now will keep us on the cooler side tonight, zone by zone. We're in the 20s for many as we start to see some of those clouds move out. We're in the mid-20s in the Kentucky River Valley and into the Big Sandy. Temperatures finishing up in the upper 20s through tonight. Details in a few on when those showers and even a little bit of wintry mix will try to sneak back into the region in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. We now know the name of a woman killed when high winds knocked down a sign in Elizabethtown. Witnesses say a Denny's sign was blown off the top of a pole and onto a car in the parking lot yesterday afternoon. Police say 3 people were inside the car. The coroner confirms 72-year-old Lillian Curtis died at the hospital. That's video of the sign actually falling. I hadn't actually seen that. 2 other people were hurt in that incident. Just a terrible scene there.
It's certainly very windy out here, and I'm certain that that did have a factor or was involved in this.
We do not know the condition of the other 2 people. Crews had to use a crane to lift the sign off the flattened car. It took around 4 hours to clean everything up. East Kentucky anglers are coming together to improve the region, not just by fishing, but with science. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more about the results of a recent angler-driven study and how it may impact the region.
Anglers for Improving Opportunities, or AFIO, is a nonprofit searching for ways to improve fisheries across the region. Most recently, the nonprofit has great interest in stocking eastern Kentucky lakes with F1 bass, an intergrade bass, which is a 50-50 hybrid mix between Florida largemouth and northern largemouth bass.
So, we've read those studies. Everything's so transparent these days with social media, and we just felt like, hey, let's see if we can't get a little slice of that, here in eastern Kentucky.
AFIO, with some help from anglers with the Kentucky Team Trail, conducted a study in April 2022 on Paintsville Lake's bass population. AFIO President Jason Kenner says experts believe the lake's bass population was almost purely northern DNA, but anglers set their hooks into some new data.
We had 97 samples that day. We sent those off to Stephen Barden with Major League Fishing, who's helped us throughout this entire process. And then he sent those to Auburn, which is the same place that I guess everybody in the country sends their data for DNA evidence.
The study determined that Paintsville Lake actually had a large population of bass with Florida largemouth DNA present, and even a F1 bass in their 97 samples. Kenner adds that this data challenges what some of the country's top scientists had previously believed about F1 bass and their presence in states north of Tennessee.
Judging by our data, that line's much further north now than anyone realized. So we think this is game-changing data. We think that biologists throughout the state, maybe even West Virginia and other states, can use our data and our information to possibly improve their fisheries.
Working to provide a future for the next generation of anglers.
As anglers, if we can come out here from a conservation standpoint and get involved, and make a positive impact. For me, if a young kid can come out here and have that experience of catching maybe a 5, 6, 7 pound bass, that's what it's all about,
And boost tourism by introducing new trophies. In Johnson County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Kenner adds, with more opportunities to hook a trophy bass, it would drive outdoor tourism by bringing anglers into the area and boost the economy region-wide. The man accused of killing a woman and putting her in the back of his SUV was in court this morning. David Reed is facing a long list of charges, including murder and fleeing police after he led them on a multi-county chase. It ended in Laurel County after Reed ran into a couple of state police cruisers and crashed just north of London. The dead woman was later identified as 53-year-old Rachel Louise Carter of Huntington, West Virginia.
The NCIC record is 24 pages, 5 different states, multi-agency, and some Kentucky history on top of it. The court finds you to be a danger.
Reed is due back in court next Tuesday at 11 a.m. His bond was set at $1 million, but the judge said if he could have refused him bond, he would have. For the first time in the Commonwealth's history, state police will wear body cameras. It comes after legislation that last year that included more than $12 million to purchase an integrated video system for KSP. An investigation found KSP fatally shot 41 people from 2015 to 2020, more than any other law enforcement agency in the state. They also found Kentucky troopers have killed more people in rural communities than any department nationwide.
These video recordings will show that in the overwhelming majority of cases, our troopers acted appropriately and in accordance with the public interest and in accordance with their training.
KSP says the goal is to have all the camera systems in use by the end of this year. Officials with the Bell County Sheriff's Department are looking for a missing woman. Take a look at your screen. 25-year-old Savannah Sanchez was last seen leaving Ferndale Apartments just off Highway 25E. Officials say she may be traveling to 4 Mile or into Knox County in a 2010 black Ford Fusion. She's 5'1", 100 pounds with black hair and green eyes. If you have any information, you can call Bell County Dispatch at 606-337-6174. Also in Bell County, a man was arrested and charged with a sex crime Wednesday. Administrators at Clear Creek Bible College say they were made aware of an incident on campus involving one of their students. They contacted the Bell County Sheriff's Office to investigate the alleged sexual offenses. Deputies say 21-year-old Cole Berkheimer sent an underage girl an explicit video in late December. He was arrested and taken to the Bell County Detention Center. What started as a theft complaint in Jackson County escalated into an event that left one person recovering from burns. The sheriff was called to a home off Highway 421 Wednesday for a report of some people stealing items from the property. When he arrived, he says 3 suspects ran from the scene. He was able to catch one person following a brief foot chase. A local towing company was called to tow a truck left on the property during the crime. When an employee started to hook the truck up, we were told it caught on fire and burned the person's face and arms. We do not know how bad the burns are. Police were able to find the other 2 people involved and take them into custody. Police in one county are asking for your help finding a stolen SUV. Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office say a Ford Bronco was stolen Sunday off of Rose Street in London. It has Kentucky plates with the tag number A7C105. If you have any information, you can call the Sheriff's Office at 606-864-6600. A historic decision was made in June of 2022 when Roe v. Wade was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court. But people here in the Commonwealth are still waiting on a decision from the state Supreme Court. In Kentucky, there's not been a ruling on the challenge to the state's trigger ban on abortions. Right now, abortions are banned except for medical emergencies. The court is deciding whether to reinstate a lower court's injunction that temporarily stopped the ban from going into effect. One expert says the state Supreme Court is in a lose-lose position on the issue.
If they side with abortion rights, they're going to make a lot of people angry. If they don't side with abortion rights, they're going to make a lot of people angry. If they give a very narrow ruling that doesn't really change very much or say very much, they're going to make even more people angry.
Members heard oral arguments on the lawsuit back in November, but that was before 2 new justices were sworn in at the state Supreme Court.
Well, coming up, we watch the potential for showers later on this weekend. The latest breakdown on that straight ahead. Plus,
small businesses are hoping to offer something unique for your special someone this Valentine's Day.